Hi YouTube. So I see this argument every day in Facebook groups. I see it all over the internet, all over YouTube, and I just wanted to eliminate some arguments that I see every day and talk about this new FMCSA ruling. My name is Carly with Bright Moon. Please like, subscribe, and share this channel. So let's talk about the FMCSA guidelines and updates that they just put in place for brokers and dispatch services. While the FMCSA acknowledged that dispatch services can help to ensure the motor carrier has a steady stream of shipments that allows them to focus on moving freight, the way in which dispatch services perform that function can mean the difference between being under an FMCSA authority, including the requirement that they have a $75,000 bond to protect their motor carrier customers from non-payment, or not. So basically the way you move can determine whether you are moving as a broker, which will require you to have a $75,000 bond to protect your carriers or customers from, non-payment as a broker, the brokers who don't pay, or not. And if you don't, you're just a regular dispatcher and not a broker. So to make that distinction, the FMCSA listed 6 factors to help determine if a dispatch service needs a broker authority. Such authority is needed if the dispatch service interacts or negotiates a shipment of freight directly with the shipper or representative of the shipper. So if you are a dispatch service and you're moving as if you're a broker, you're presenting yourself as a broker, you're going up to shippers and trying to solicit freight as if you are a brokerage, you're going to need a bond. You're going to need to be bonded. You're going to need to become a broker, basically. Also, if you accept or take compensation for a load from the broker or factoring company, or is involved in any part of the monetary transaction between any of those entities, this will protect a lot of carriers from those scammy dispatch services who likes to have all the payments going to their own bank account. You cannot do that. You are not a broker. You shouldn't be touching their money. We are here to assist them, but none of the money should be going to you. And this is probably to protect what I've seen happening. And I've actually had a carrier come to me trying to protect himself from his dispatcher who had all of the money going to her, and he was just completely being scammed. He was definitely being scammed. So don't do that. Don't accept if a carrier runs the load, the carrier should be getting all the payment, and they'll allocate that payment to you. Now, a factoring company can definitely send payment to you. That's not a problem. Just like if for those who have been getting paid from their carrier's factoring company, you don't have to worry about that. Another reason why you would need an authority, aka to become a broker, is if you arrange for a shipment of freight for a motor carrier with which there is no written legal contract with the motor carrier that meets the aforementioned criteria. To break that down, this means that basically you can't rerun a freight without your legal documents. I talked to you guys about paperwork that you need to dispatch, a dispatch carrier agreement, and the limited power of attorney. One of those needs to be signed. Do both. Usually I have said in the past that I was a little more lenient on whether or not people sign my carrier agreement or not. So that needs to be signed, whether or not you change the time or the length of your carrier agreement to make it easier for your carriers to be okay with signing it. I know I've had people turn away from signing my dispatch service or carrier agreement when they noticed that the time length for us to work together on there was a year. So shorten those times that you're demanding that people stick with you on your carrier agreement, and you shouldn't have a problem with people signing that, just letting them know that it's for legal purposes for you to be able to move freight for them. The next thing is you will need an authority if you accept a shipment without a truck or a carrier and then attempts to find a truck or a carrier to move the shipment, meaning you can't be going to look at load boards and being like, hey, I got this load, I need a carrier to move it. No, you're not a broker. That's what a broker does. Brokers get freight and loads and then go find carriers to move it. That is not what we as dispatchers, we are not doing that. That is not what we do. We have no authority to do that, and we never had any authority to do that. That's not how we're supposed to move. Also, another reason why you would need an authority or to become a broker is if you are named a party on the shipping contract, meaning if you are going to shippers and soliciting freight, If you or your business is named a party on that contract, the shipper to carrier contract, not any broker contracts that you guys are used to doing, the normal dispatcher may be used to doing, not that. It's completely different. That contract that's a contract for brokers. That's for brokers. We don't deal with that as dispatchers. So continue moving how you have been moving. If this is confusing to you, that means that you haven't been trying to move like a broker. So continue to do that. And last but not least, if you are soliciting the open market of carriers for the purposes of transporting a freight shipment, don't go and tell people that you have freight. Don't go and post in the Facebook groups and say, hey, I have thousands of loads. I have loads. Saying things like that and presenting yourself like that, that's a whole different ballgame. You are stepping into another territory. And if you are doing these things, you just need to go ahead and get yourself an authority and get bonded. Become a broker. Get that's a $75,000 bond to protect the carriers from, if this freight that you so-called have, if you don't pay them for it, moving it, they need to be protected. There's whole different legal processes that are in place for that. And the FMCSA's guidelines clarify that dispatchers operating as an unauthorized broker carry civil penalties of up to $10,000 for each violation. So, is dispatching illegal? No, it is not. You heard it here first, people. You may not have, but it is not. And I'm pretty sure people might be commenting under this video and saying that this is not the case. I actually spoke with someone at the FMCSA, said that they don't regulate dispatchers because we don't require MC numbers. We don't require authorities. And that's directly from the FMCSA. And if you want to go ahead and give them a call yourself, they will tell you the same thing. So do you need to worry about this, dispatchers? No, you do not. Just don't move as if you're authority. Don't say that you have loads. Change your wording up. If you've been telling people you have loads, you do not have loads, okay? Change your wording up. Let them know you have access to loads. You've built relationships with brokers who has access to thousands of loads, hundreds of thousands of loads, whatever the terminology that it is that you're using. Just remember, you are not a broker. Don't move like one. You don't have loads. Don't tell people that. That's another thing that I noticed, a way that you can definitely get attacked verbally in these Facebook groups as well. For those who need a step-by-step training, I have an A to Z training that can teach you the A to Z of dispatching freight. If you are interested in taking a training, you also have access to me 24/7 messenger support. I am always looking at my phone. I'm looking at my phone right now just to make sure none of my students ever reach out to me. So also, I do have ebooks and I do consultations. If you need a one-on-one with me, just go ahead and check the description box down below for that. As well as, I need to let you guys know, this training is 50% off right now. Get it before November 28th when it completely goes off sale and the price is going back up. So go ahead, you guys, check the description box, and thank you for watching this video. I will see you in my next one.